Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Alex the Explainer. Today's video is a very special one. It is the first episode of a new series, Land of the Mammals, the story of the Cenozoic era, the age of the mammals. Mammals already had a big history before the Cenozoic era began. We'll probably discuss those in future videos, not in this series. This series will mainly focus on the Cenozoic era, which is split up into many groups. The Paleocene, the Eocene, the Oligocene, the Miocene, the Pliocene, the Pleistocene, and the Holocene epochs. At the beginning of the Paleocene epoch, around 66 million years ago, after the dinosaurs went extinct, it was a fungal world, a land of mushrooms and molds, feasting on the dead of the extinction. However, the Earth was able to recover, and lush rainforests were able to envelop the entire world. Not all dinosaurs went extinct. The avian dinosaurs, the birds, were still around, like Pelagornis and Gastornis. However, the mammals still had a lot more advantages over the birds. For one, they were warm-blooded, very active, they could give live birth, they could feed their young milk to survive, and they had fur for insulation. Sure, the birds were probably also warm-blooded, there were some advantages to egg-laying, and they did possess fur-like feathers. The mammals just had more advantages over the birds. Also, the smaller mammals were able to reproduce quickly, allowing them to evolve and diversify rapidly, allowing them to take over the world. There were three main groups of mammals in this lush rainforest world of the Paleocene epoch. There were the monotremes, very primitive mammals that still laid eggs like reptiles. There were also the marsupials, which kept their young in pouches for protection when they were very vulnerable. And there were the incredible multituberculates. Some were small tree climbers, but some were massive, and they were pretty good generalists, omnivores that could feed on whatever was available. However, things were about to change. The Paleocene-Eocene thermal maximum event happened, likely caused by the releasing of methane in the oceans. The climate changed, the multituberculates went extinct, and the mammals were about to get even larger. Sure, there were still some small mammals like Lectictidium, a small shrew-like animal that can hop like a kangaroo, but had a trunk like an elephant. And there was Pakicetus, which evolved into Ambulocetus. Ambulocetus was a mammal that could swim. The reason why it swam? Because most of the niches on land were occupied. So Ambulocetus became an underwater predator, which eventually would evolve into the whales. Much later into the Eocene epoch, there were some pretty large mammals, especially the ungulates, a group of mammals that included creatures like hippos, cows, and horses. There are the artiodactyls, the even-toed ungulates, and the odd-toed ungulates, like Brontotherium, which had a strange, bone growth on its head, which was kind of like a rhino's horn. Andrewsarchus, an even-toed ungulate, was a fairly large predatory mammal, which was the early ancestor of the hippos. There was also a near ungulate, not exactly an ungulate, but quite close to one, known as Mortotherium, which would eventually evolve into the elephants, but for right now, it is a hippo-like creature. And by the late Eocene epoch, the whales finally evolved, such as small whales like Dorodon and large apex predators like Basilosaurus. The large whales like Dorodon and Basilosaurus of the late Eocene epoch were very primitive-looking mammals, look more like a reptile than an actual whale. However, in future epochs, they would look a lot more whale-like, or at least the way we imagine whales today. There were other ancestors of modern aquatic mammals during the late Eocene epoch. There were some early ancestors of the seals, and even the manatees. This clearly shows that at the beginning of the Eocene epoch, mammals were just starting to evolve and diversify into several groups, becoming the groups that we know now today. However, things are about to get a lot drier. A land of deserts and grasslands will begin to take hold. The rainforests will be gone. However, even if the rainforests are gone, diversity and the mammals definitely would not. So guys, goodbye guys, and we'll see you there on another episode of Land of the Mammals.